A couple of weeks ago, actually maybe back in the fall, a friend of mine posted on Facebook that she had been sent somehow in the mail a satanic children's coloring book, and that she had no idea why or what she did to get on this mailing list. Well, I saw the post and I said, actually, send it to me. I'd like to see it and see what's going on there, because that's like the polar opposite of children's study Bibles that I've reviewed here on the channel before. So she sent it to me and I took a look at it. This is what they sent her: the Satanic Children's Big Book of Activities. Now, calling this a big book is misleading because it's like 8 pages. It also came with a Satanic Temple sticker card decal, I guess, which is kind of like a little pentagram and the goat's head, and it says TST, which is the Satanic Temple. So I guess stickers for mom and dad, coloring book for the kids. So as soon as I opened this, I realized this has got to be satire. There's no way this is literally Satan worship. Just from the captions alone, page 1, find 6 differences. Annabelle is spreading knowledge and helping to dispel fear and ignorance by demonstrating her satanic ritual for her class. Find 6 differences to help her. So there she's got, I guess, like a frog. I don't really know what's going on with this frog. Burning candle, a skull, a cup of, it'd have to be grape juice because these are kids, so wine would be illegal. And then she's in her little satanic robe. And the teacher is scolding her, wagging the finger Dikembe Mutombo style. So then there's a word unscramble on the next page. It says, these bullies are mad and afraid of things they don't understand. Help Damien use inclusive language to diffuse the situation. So there's a little smiling Damien and his goat head t-shirt, and then his little, looks like a male version of Marcy from Peanuts, and then the big bullies over there. We don't like you Satanists. Then page 3, color Annabelle's study filled with satanic literature and philosophy. And she's got, I don't know, maybe a dozen books on bookshelves with skulls with candles burning in them. And there's even cobwebs on the skull. So apparently Satanists don't dust. Then there's a connect the dots. Damien is showing his class the way to make an inverted pentagram. Connect the dots to make one yourself. Teacher still not happy about this Satanism in their midst. Then a word search. Whopper is big and sometimes scary because he has trouble saying what's on his mind. Help Damien and Annabelle use their patience and open-mindedness to decipher what he wants to say. And then the words that you're going to find in there, very satanic words. Friends, love, care, happiness, acceptance, fun, play, games. Then we have a maze. Damien and Cerberus are trying to navigate this dark, dank labyrinth to find the fabled Necronomicon. Can you use your crown to show them the way? The Necronomicon not only has horns, a wing, and an eyeball, it also has a drooling tongue. And then the drawing activity. What's Cerberus dreaming about? Draw your answer in the thought balloon. Cerberus has a human skull in his food bowl, along with a bone and a tennis ball. Then unhappy teacher appears again. Decode the message. Annabelle sent Damien a note in class, but it's a secret. Help Damien break the secret code to find out what Annabelle wants to say to him. And then on the last page are the answers, with the secret code being Audi Preces Meas Satana Blessed Be. And then a note at the bottom, for more information on the Satanic Temple, check out our website, and there it is. Now, this has to be satire. One, the most satanic thing about this is the horrible art style. This came into vogue sometime in the late 90s, and this actually, of all the things in here that's most from the devil, I would put that artwork at the top of the list. But in all seriousness, this is a blatant satire of Christian children's material. There's nothing in this actually about actual Satanism. At least that's what I thought. But I wanted to double check. I mean, that was just my first impression. Maybe it just could have been very clumsy, poorly done, heavy-handed attempt at non-ironic satanic teaching, but I didn't think so. So I decided to go over to the Satanic Temple website and see what's going on and who are these people that are sending these out to random people around the country. So when you go to the website, right off the bat, it says the Satanic Temple, empathy, reason, advocacy. Now, especially eagle-eyed viewers may have caught in some previous Disciple Dojo videos that down behind me here on the shelf are a couple of Ron Swanson Funko Pops. Ron Swanson is from the show Parks and Recreation, which is one of the greatest shows of all time. In season 4 of Parks and Rec, it's about this end-of-the-world cult that's obviously insane, but they were trying to have an end-of-the-world vigil at the local park, but they needed a park permit in order to have their end-of-the-world vigil. They believed that a giant lizard monster was going to come and destroy the world, and it's a hilarious episode, but they called themselves the Reasonableists. And one of the characters asks why this cult about a bizarre lizard god names himself the Reasonableists. And they said they picked that name because then if anybody ridiculed them, it would seem like they were ridiculing reason. And then the other character says, actually, that's a pretty smart idea. That's exactly what the Satanic Temple is doing. This organization are pretending to be a religion. They're not a religion, but they're pretending. They're trying to, like the Zorpies were doing in Parks and Rec. Zorpies is what the regular townsfolk called them. They're pretending to be a religious organization in order to critique religious organizations. That's what the TST is doing. Now, in the Parks and Recs episode, we weren't exactly clear on whether the Zorpies actually believed what they said they believed, or they were just using it as an excuse to hang out and have a party once a year and play flutes and do all this stuff that they like to do, drinking beer, sitting around the fire, whatever. But the Satanic Temple is pretty clear that what they're trying to do has nothing to do with religion. It's right here on their website. If you click the Learn FAQ, it takes you to their frequently asked questions. And lo and behold, do you worship Satan? No. Nor do we believe in the existence of Satan or the supernatural. The Satanic Temple believes that religion can and should be divorced from superstition. As such, we do not promote a belief in a personal Satan. To embrace the name Satan is to embrace rational inquiry removed from supernaturalism and archaic tradition-based superstitions. Apparently, they forgot to tell Annabelle this before she did her satanic ritual in class. Satanists should actively work to hone critical thinking and exercise reasonable agnosticism in all things. Our beliefs must be malleable to the best current scientific understanding of the material world, never the reverse. And you click, what does Satan mean to the Satanic Temple? Satan is a symbol of the eternal rebel in opposition to arbitrary authority, forever defending personal sovereignty even in the face of insurmountable odds. Satan is an icon for the unbowed will of the unsilenced inquirer, the heretic who questions sacred laws and rejects all tyrannical impositions. Our metaphoric representation is the literary Satan best exemplified by Milton and the romantic Satanists from Blake to Shelley to Anatole France. So then, obviously, the next question, if you do not believe in the supernatural, how is the Satanic Temple a religion? The idea that religion belongs to supernaturalists is ignorant, backward, and offensive. The metaphorical satanic construct is no more arbitrary to us than are the deeply held beliefs that we actively advocate. Are we supposed to believe that those who pledge submission to an ethereal supernatural deity hold to their values more deeply than we? Are we supposed to concede that only the superstitious are rightful recipients of religious exemption and privilege? Satanism provides all that a religion should be without a compulsory attachment to untenable items of faith-based belief. So they're literally saying, we don't believe in any of this crap. We have a philosophy, and we're going to pretend that that philosophy is a religion, because then we can get the benefits of religions in this country. So this is where the Satanic Temple really does undermine a lot of my atheist friends who I interact with online all the time. So many of my atheist friends hate when somebody says, oh, you're atheist. Well, that's your religion. And they're, oh, it's not my religion. I don't have religion. I'm atheist. I don't have religion. Well, Satanic Temple, you're not really helping fellow atheists out there who are actually trying to distance themselves from religion. You're blurring the lines. You're using religious language. You're appealing to religious liberty. You're borrowing concepts from another religion, taking those concepts, turning them into something that they aren't whatsoever in that religion, drawing more from literary culture than from the actual faith that you are repeatedly mocking and deriding, so that you can get the benefits of a religion. This is trolling 101. The entire thing is a publicity stunt meant to ridicule organized religion. They're using religion to subvert religion. And ironically, that's probably the biggest thing about the Satanic Temple that is actually satanic. See, they don't even think there's such a thing as Satan. They don't even acknowledge the existence of supernatural. They think that Satan is about rituals and cloven hooves and skulls and pentagrams and all of this iconography. And so they're going to use that to rile up or to make these Christian little old church ladies clutch at their pearls in disbelief, or to get some kind of widespread opposition to their organization and boycotts and things like that, because it generates media. And then that brings more people to their cause, which is not a bad marketing strategy. I mean, clearly I'm making this video, so their message is at least getting talked about. But I'm talking about it because I think it illustrates exactly what they don't want to illustrate. The Satanic Temple is not satanic because they have scary skulls on their museum in Salem, or because they sell candles or satanic ritual items. Again, their FAQ, I want to sell my soul, get rich, join the Illuminati, etc. Please look elsewhere. They are not actually Satanists. This is a group of atheists that are trolling the religious community using religious iconography that the Judeo-Christian Muslim religions will react against. The whole thing is to get a reaction. They want to get media attention because they are trying to undermine belief in the supernatural. At the end of the day, is basically just humanism. But these are edgy humanists. The Satanic Temple, I mean, look at this. They literally say, how are you different from humanists? A unifying attribute of all Satanists is our embrace of our outsider status. Yeah, sticking it to the man. We're edgy. We have pentagrams. But we actually believe the same thing as humanists. These are like atheist LARPers, basically. If you don't know what LARPing is, ask a nerd friend, they'll tell you. But that's what the Satanic Temple is. And in fact, they specifically say on this same FAQ page, again, you can go read it if you want to, that they're not the Satanism that was founded by Anton LaVey during the Satanism craze. They say, no, we're not that. They actually believe in supernatural and they believe in authority. We don't believe in supernatural. We don't believe in authority. So what do they believe in? The mission of the Satanic Temple is to encourage benevolence and empathy, reject tyrannical authority, advocate practical common sense, oppose injustice, and undertake noble pursuits. We're the reasonableists. So what is an example of a noble pursuit? Something that they are passionately advocating for as lovers of science? Well, they're fighting to make abortion be protected as a religious freedom issue. TST has petitioned the state of Texas to allow Satanic Temple members the ability to continue receiving voluntary abortions as part of a religious ritual. Now, why are they making this their rallying cry? The Satanic Temple holds that Texas' abortion ban is inspired by a religious dogma that asserts that life begins at conception, which contravenes TST's belief that non-viable fetal tissue is part of the pregnant person and free to be voluntarily removed. TST claims this law violates the Establishment Clause and Free Exercise Clause of the First Amendment, in that it legislates a religious viewpoint that prohibits TST members' ability to perform their religious practices freely. You see what they're doing? This whole thing is a way of trying to use what the Constitution provides for, which is religious freedom, to argue for voluntary abortion on demand without apology as part of their religious ritual. It's clever. The problem is it's entirely invalid. The First Amendment doesn't give absolute authority on all things that claim religious exemption, particularly when it involves destruction or harm of another person. That's where the debate is on abortion. It has nothing to do with religious freedom. I've done a video here on the channel for my pro-choice friends so that they can try to better understand where pro-life advocates are coming from. And one of the main points of that video, it's not a religious issue. The Satanic Temple is trying to make abortion a religious issue because then they feel that they can use the laws that protect religious freedom that are genuine and valid to protect elective abortions. But this is where the Satanic Temple is running up against other atheists who aren't trying to be edgy, who aren't trying to troll religious people, but who do have a grasp of human ethics. So the Satanic Temple, I would suggest, needs to spend a little more time over at Secular Pro-Life. And if you go there, you're not going to see pentagrams, you're not going to see skulls or goat heads. What you're going to see are people who have no religious faith, who believe that there is a strong, completely non-supernatural secular case against abortion. And they summarize it for you. Scientifically appealing to no religious text whatsoever. The human zygote, embryo, and fetus are all human organisms. They are early developmental stages of a human's life cycle. And there are some articles that back up that point. Point 2, all human organisms are morally relevant. Point 3, it's generally immoral to kill humans. Point 4, bodily rights aren't enough to justify elective abortion. There's facts, there's scientific journal links, there's essays, there are videos that go into all of these points and deal with these arguments. And it's not done as an elaborate troll job against religion. So at the end of the day, this doesn't really have anything to do with any biblical concept of Satan, except that it takes good and noble concepts and redefines them entirely in order to undermine the very faith traditions that it's pulling its imagery from. Many Christians are rightly disturbed by satanic imagery, and it's because Satan in Scripture is evil. He's not a rebel. He's not questioning arbitrary authority. He's not seeking unfettered knowledge and exploration. He doesn't exercise empathy or tolerance. Those are all godly virtues. That's the irony, Satanic Temple. You're taking godly virtues and you're ascribing them to the character who is the epitome of the opposite of those virtues. So I don't know if you're ever going to get this activity book sent to your house unsolicited, but whenever you come across TST, the Satanic Temple, the reaction that they want is the pearl clutching, the gasps, the fearful overreaction. That's what they want. They want a reaction. They want to rile you up. That's what this is. They can get parents starting letter writing campaigns about this kind of stuff. Then that'll give them publicity and they'll get to point to those people and say, see, these repressive, superstitious, religious people, we're the good guys. We're trying to break free from all that. We're the reasonableists. It's repackaged humanism. It's an elaborate legal trolling job. And its goal is actually to get people to not believe in Satan, which is one of the actual Satan's main goals. For more on why I say that, if you've never read C.S. Lewis's classic, The Screwtape Letters, I cannot recommend this book strongly enough. I think he would be the first to affirm, if he were still with us, that as much as they say they don't believe in Satan, this is actually a lot more in line with how he operates than any actual candles, skulls, pentagrams, all that kind of stuff. So I hope this is somewhat helpful. I don't know if you've ever looked into the Satanic Temple. I have not spent a lot of time. I just looked over their website in preparation for this video, and it was pretty much exactly what I expected it to be. It's just humanists who are trying to get a rise out of religious people and who are basically using religious freedom laws to undermine religious fundamentalism. So friends of mine, if you're tired of people assuming that just because you're an atheist, you're a Satanist, you may want to have a chat with your friends over at TST. They don't seem to be helping the cause on that front. So what do you think about all this? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments section below. And stay tuned. We got some cool stuff planned for 2023 here in the dojo. Take care.